Okay, why don't you see interview?
This is our interview with Three Quarters of Glorious Wounds. We really wanted to do a deep dive on this. It's a great debut album. Um, Jill just really shrieks her soul and emotions into everything. The band is shit hot tight. So let's take it away with our talk with these guys. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
What is it in the water, or maybe it's the longitude of Providence, that makes hardcore bands from that area just seem to have a little more edge? What's your theory?
Oh, I don't
Mm.
I don't know. That's
Yeah, these
yeah,
events, these guys are from around there, so they'd be best to speak probably.
it's
Yeah.
I,
Yeah,
I don't go ahead, Paul.
I was just say it's kind of tough. I mean, I grew up in Providence and around the whole music scene there, and it always has kind of had that Providence edge. I don't know what the cause of it is, but um, you know, I wish I
Uh,
had a better answer for you, but it's
maybe it's the traffic on 95.
Yeah.
could be, could
It
be.
it's because no one in Rhode Island uses their blinkers.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, from a latitude standpoint, aren't you like as high up as Seattle, but just on the East Coast?
That sounds about right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm no map expert, but maybe that's the latitude. It's the how far north you are. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I can only label like 10 states on the map, so
Well, Dan, I speak for that question there. That's a true fact. When I was on my road trip, I actually drove cross country with my friends, like 11,000 miles. And I looked at the map, and yes, we were like a straight line across, and we were in Washington State at that point. So
Okay.
we were directly across. At least
Okay.
me, and I live in Massachusetts. They are a little bit south of me. You
And
know.
you're more edgy than us.
Yeah, I always thought it was too. Some comedian was doing dance thresholds, and I think he rated New England as having a very high dance threshold, where sophomore girls have a very low dance threshold. So maybe it's a better way to get out all that, pent up aggression.
Yeah.
Since khaki pants don't dance.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know where you're located exactly right now, but
We're in Baltimore.
oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's so nice when we're all in the same time zone. I love it because it always goes bad when we're not.
Well,
Especially
this one
Europe.
hasn't gone good yet. We'll see. You've got high
Yeah.
expectations.
Yeah.
There's still
The trickiest one we ever did was Australia because it's only 2 hours difference, but it's tomorrow there.
Oh, that's
So
kind
it's
of
really like mind blowing, mind fucking sort of,
Time
yeah.
So you're like, what am I gonna do tomorrow morning? Can you tell me? Like, can you tell the future?
So I noticed you guys, especially on your Bandcamp page, this was making us crazy when we were doing this review, go mostly by first names. I really had to dig to find last names. Do you see Glorious Wounds as more of a collective force than individual personalities? Is that the reasoning for that, or?
Oh no, you guys can have our last names all you want, right?
I
Oh.
found them. It just took a while.
That
Oh.
yeah, I think that might have just been putting the Bandcamp page together like hastily. I don't know that it was like a purposeful thing.
Yeah, I mean, all our names are hard to spell.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think I put the Bandcamp thing together. I don't think I could spell everyone's names correctly, so I just put our first names.
Oh,
An honest man. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
like
that's funny.
it's like those moments. It's like you'll have a moment where you'll look at Paul's phone and go, "How did you spell my last name?"
Yeah, there's not a Smith in the bunch.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. All of our last names are very eccentric and weird and different and stuff and unique. But our first names are
Yeah, it's Steve,
like,
Bill.
so, Don, and Harry. Like it's
Yeah.
like Paul, Dan, Jill, and John. But then our last names are super weird.
It reminds me, there was this young Japanese band that I was trying to write a review for, and they were like metalcore or something. And I couldn't find their last names anywhere. So I sent them a message in Bandcamp, and the day before the review was done, I got a response. I was so excited. And the kid goes, "It's Nick, Cody, John, and Bill. And I'm like, thanks.
What?
I wanted last names. God damn. I never did get them, you know.
Yeah.
Thank you for reiterating your first names to me.
So this band's roots, as I was reading, go all the way back to 2017. What kind of finally clicked, to form it into a fully realized project?
Well, when did Ruinit start, Paul?
Whew. I was just trying to think back.
Because I didn't join the band until like 2019, I think, because it was like right before COVID.
Yeah, probably 4 years before that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe.
I think so. Yeah.
So you can go ahead if you want to talk about Ruinit, I guess.
Yeah, so me and John were in another band called Ruinit. And we needed to find a new drummer and we needed to find a new singer. So we ended up finding Dan. I think it was Craigslist. I think. I mean, look at this guy that we found through Craigslist. Right. It's amazing. And we were going to continue as Ruinit. We had another singer. But then COVID hit and we needed another singer again. And we already had the EP for Glorious Moons was done with Dan, but we didn't have a singer. It was going to be the next Ruinit album. And then we found Jill. Dan found Jill somewhere. I don't know where.
Yeah, Instagram.
It was Instagram. Friends. And
yeah. Well, it was Ruinit like up until Jill joined.
Yeah, all the way up. It was still going to be Ruinit all the way up until Jill joining, and then we decided to, we needed to change it up a little bit.
Well, yeah, because it's like we had all these shows lined up. COVID happened. All the venues like shut down. So we were just like, all right, well, I guess we have time to write. And then with Jill joining and a whole set of new songs, we're like, well, the music doesn't sound anything like Ruinit did. So let's just rebrand it all and start fresh.
Right.
It was a tough decision at the time for me. I had a hard time with it. But definitely glad we did. Definitely, feeling wise for me, like Glorious Wounds is a totally different feeling to me than Ruinit had. I'm really glad we did decide to change the name. It was just a tough decision at the time for me.
Well, I was thinking about the name Glorious Wounds, and I'll ask you where it came from, but it occurred to me, I was thinking, what are Glorious Wounds? Tattoos? Is it about tattoos, maybe?
It's actually from a Bible passage.
Oh, really?
And I was going to ask you, which of you were personally victimized by religion of some sort? That's
I don't know that necessarily victimized. I'm Catholic, so.
Well, that's it right there.
So yeah, it was kind of like I heard it one day and suggested it, and everybody was like, "Oh yeah, that sounds sick."
Oh, sorry. That's a cat, by the way.
Oh, okay.
We have invading cats periodically too.
Anyway.
Yeah. They might just show up behind us at some point. Yeah.
They were rattling. We were all rattling off some names.
Oh yeah. It was probably like 2 months of band name suggestions in the group chat.
Yeah. I had a lot of really, really good ones.
Yeah.
Like, what are some of the other ones? What are some you didn't pick?
Oh my goodness.
Dan knows them all. He brings them.
There's one that comes to mind. It was valves.
Yeah,
valves.
He goes, hey guys, how about valves? And I'm like, what is that?
And I loved it.
Like something you commit to, or vowels like AEIOU?
VALVES.
Ah.
Yeah, no, they didn't like it.
Yeah. Wasn't a fan.
I came up with I think it was like choke or choke out, but shortly thereafter I had that idea. 5 hours later I learned of Choke Out hardcore band already existing.
Yeah, it's hard, man. There's not many names left. It's really tough to come up with something new name wise.
Yeah. I mean, when they were suggesting things, I kind of agreed to what I thought kind of stood out. And I was like, yeah, that's totally fine by me. I don't think the name as much means as much as you think it does, like in the end, you know?
There's a friend of ours, his name's Daniel James, and he's in several bands. He lives in Wisconsin, is it? Wisconsin?
Yeah.
He comes up with the best band names. Motorcycle Prom Date. How great is that?
Oh
I
wow.
think that's really good. Yeah, I like
And
it.
he was in a band for years called Indonesian Junk from the Cheap Trick song.
Oh, yeah.
So he's like the man you go to for cool band names. Like
Chinese telephone.
Chinese telephones. His discards are better than a lot of real band names, you know. So,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So you
Chinese
all
telephone,
came
like,
kind of from other products. What kind of lessons or tribal knowledge does each of you bring in?
Oh, that's a good question. Dan, they all have projects that they can speak on. They're looking,
yeah.
don't like,
Oh, I don't know. I think I spent a little time, like a year, playing in another band when things were slow with Ruinit, and in that time I kind of got like more familiar with like handling merch and getting shows booked and all that. So I guess like without really wanting to, that's how I ended up like running the merch, running like all the social media and all that.
the merch, I used to do it, and I kind of gave more stuff away than anything. I was all about, hey, here it is. You can have this, you know. And yeah, so it doesn't make much sense when you're trying to, you know, sell stuff instead of just giving it all away all the time.
You were too benevolent. Yeah.
Yeah. I always feel weird about the whole money thing. That I'm not good with it myself. So it's more like, here, have this. It's yours. But yeah.
Yeah, we were at this Doom festival and we bought 2 shirts from this band that we liked. And he immediately handed us keychain, one of the whole album. And Mark was like, I don't want to carry this around. I'm like, just take it. He's giving it to you. That's rude. So
Yeah.
he carried it around.
Yeah, I
the
always wait till
festival.
the end to buy merch because I don't want to like have to schlep it around the whole time. But they were kind of like forcing it on us. You know.
Yeah.
take it, right?
Take it, yeah.
I was like, just carry it. Oh, I love it.
But yeah, like Paul and Dan have been, well, Paul has been in a bunch of like little punk projects, right, Paulie? And
Yeah, I played in a lot of punk bands,
you know,
and
so
hardcore bands, and just, you know, pretty much always that genre, like punk hardcore. Maybe a little new metal snuck in there. Unfortunately, not really the happiest of those bands. But, you know, there's something to do at the time.
New metal is so controversial. You either like you love it or you're like, bleh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I met a lot of great people and enjoyed it at the time. It was something to do, but it's not. I don't really ever go back and listen to that music. You know, with a lot of the punk bands I was in, I do go back and listen, and you know, it still means a lot. You know.
So, do you see your music as like a catharsis, a communion, a confrontation, or all of the above?
What's catharsis mean?
Catharsis is kind of like when you have bad feelings and you let it out and it's released.
I mean, I think there's definitely like emotion to the music, and I think like in the moment it was just kind of like guitar parts I wrote, guitar parts John wrote that we like puzzle piece together, like with like what sounded good with what. But then it's like once the record was like all set and we took the time to listen to it, like it definitely like evokes emotions, which is like, oh, where did that come from?
Wow.
What were the options again? Catharsis.
Either catharsis, confrontation, or communion.
Oh,
the first two, probably.
I'd say communion and catharsis.
So
Yeah,
Jill, do you feel does Jill feel
emotional for me, for
catharsis when
sure.
does Jill feel catharsis when she's belting it out on stage?
Yeah.
Like a purge, you know?
Yeah, I mean, those are the lyrics, at least for me. I don't know about them, you know, but that's how I feel with the lyrics. Like definitely a confrontation too. a lot of things. Demons in the past and a lot of things that have gone on, but like also the catharsis is a true thing too. The communion, yeah, definitely. I mean, in some regard, as far as like me meeting them, being in a band with them, but like I didn't say before, like I played piano for 9 years before I was a vocalist, like, and that was my next like endeavor. So to answer that other question, like the vocals were the other endeavor. So after the piano situation, I found Daniel, and then we all kind of brought our ideas together. And but yeah, I brought my really traumatic, emotional, sad lyrics to them. Because a lot of people do in the crowd. They're like, oh wow, like some people say to me that that's the part that stood out to them, and I like that. So, you know,
Yeah.
I
Very real.
could identify with quite a bit, but we'll get into that more a little later.
Yeah.
A lot, sadly.
Yeah.
So what's your experience been with Tor Johnson Records? I've heard such good things about them. They're kind of like one of those labels that if you see like $20 spin, if something comes out on them, I'm immediately interested because of the label. How did you come to work with them?
So John was in a band called Third Death years ago, and they put out a 3-way split on Tor Johnson. But Paul D, the guy that runs Tor Johnson, also runs screen printing. So we got our first run of merch done through him. And at the time, I was like, "Hey, if you want to listen to the record, it's not out yet. You could check it out." And he was like, "Well, you know, I don't really have the budget for any new bands." I was like, "All right, well, you could just listen to it." And then I think I got an email like a week later that was like, "All right, I'll work with you guys."
That's awesome.
Made an impression. Yeah.
Yeah. It was surprising. I was very stoked on it.
Well, tell me about the Gothic album cover. I love the statues. They look like straight out of a burned out cathedral, and I love the orange glow. Like, how did you come about choosing that artwork?
We ended up working with a guy on Instagram that he did merch for a handful of bands I can't think of right now, but it was just kind of like throwing a bunch of ideas at him, and this is what he came back with, and we all ended up liking it.
It was like adjectives around the name and around the ideas, and it was like kind of, it's like stoic in nature, like it's kind of very dramatic, I feel like. You know, and we kind of just settled with it, and we're like, yeah, like that looks great, you know, when he tossed us that image, right, Dan?
Yeah. I think initially I was just like, I really like old paintings and like statues and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It looks like the music sounds to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like I saw it and I could kind of almost imagine what you guys sounded like before I heard you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is what we used to have to do back in the day, because there was no Spotify. You just
Don't
had
get me
to-
started on that. A lot of bad choices were made. Yeah.
You just had to either go with what they were playing in the record store or just take a chance, you know.
You have to be very careful when you bring these stories up in an internet setting, right? Like I was in a forum and they were bitching about like leaked albums or something. And I said, yeah, I rode my bike to the record store and bought Saxon Rock the Nations. And when I got it home, sounded like fucking Bon Jovi. And there was like a whole day went by. And then one person just said, how old are you?
You got shamed,
like,
I guess.
I remember
maybe I
rode my
should have
bike
kept that to
once.
myself.
No, I rode my bike. I went for a bike ride to go buy Use Your Illusion. And
Okay.
I can only afford one of them, you know, like so I only bought one. And like the next week I went right back to buy the other one on my bike. So, you know, I'm with you. I'm like,
Yeah.
those bike rides were, I mean, can we go back? That was a good time. That was fun.
Well, I
But
was
you have to
afraid I
actually-
was gonna like, you know, riding a bike holding a vinyl record is tricky stuff, you know. Like I remember being very careful and a little afraid, you know. So,
Yeah. That's it's like I used to be the youngest one in the band. Now it's Jill, and it's funny when moments come up where me, Paul, and John are talking about stuff, and Jill's like, "What are you guys talking about? What is that?" And I'm like, "I'm not even that old."
No, you're not actually at all. You're a young babe, Dan. And it makes
Mm.
You provide most of the lyrics and the drama. What for the writing process? Who kind of brings what flavors?
Oh, for the writing process. Well, as far as like the stuff that's being created right now, um, the the guys basically just write the instrumentals and I'll follow up with the lyrics, but I'll be present for like the whole thing, right? Does that sound accurate?
Yeah,
Like,
John and Dan definitely write a lot of the musical parts. I kind of come back in after. Well, while it's being written, we all work together, and I'm always like, we got to make it a little more poppier, a little like catchier parts and stuff. But it all kind of that kind of that's how it all comes together, with their two guitar parts, and then we kind of just work the songs together that way.
So Paul is the hook master.
I don't know about that, but I try.
Paul's like the at the end when you hear the song and you go, "Oh, that was that thing that was missing."
Yeah. Yeah. Now, do you guys rehearse? Do you get together to be? I mean, you're not like next door to each other, but do you get together and rehearse like all in the same room sometimes, or how often?
We tried to about like every other week.
Okay.
And then there was like a string of like we were playing it like at like 2 shows a month, so we didn't really have the time to practice. So yeah, ideally it's like at least like once a month, if not twice, we try to get together. But it's tough with all our schedules and how far we all live.
Yeah.
So for this album, was there a track that just really gave you the most hell as far as like getting it where you wanted it to be?
Oh, I think the one we worked on the longest was the last song on the album. I don't know the song titles on the record.
is it the Josh Fuller Blood Sugar song?
Yeah, I don't know.
No,
I don't know the actual.
it's the Joe Cocker one.
Yeah, I don't actually know the song titles because.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my song titles are asinine and long and crazy.
The floating in the stars one, the last
There
track.
you go.
Yeah, that's it.
So that's the one that we had the most trouble with. And we didn't actually name these until the very bitter end. Isn't that funny? They had names like pizza sausage, shower party, something crazy. They were all sorts of wacky names. It was sausage pizza.
Well,
Cheriho.
yep.
Yeah, whatever.
Gemini. Yeah.
Gemini.
Well,
And
it was just like as we would write the songs, we would just take like like bits of like inside jokes and stuff because it was like the easiest way to remember what was what. And then Jill wrote these like wicked long song titles, so it was just easier for me to remember them by like the goofy names that we came up with at practice.
and that ended up being our best song, the one that we just spoke about, the Floating in the Stars, aka Cocker. Yeah.
Yeah, what was it called? Like Cocker was the first half. What did we call it? What was the old name of the end?
Josh Fuller.
For Cocker?
Yeah, for Cocker, after Cocker.
It was never anything else.
No? All right.
No.
I thought, well, we had like intro and then Cocker, I think. That's what I'm
Yeah,
thinking of.
yeah.
Well, you already mentioned that Paul like kind of looks for the hooks and the little accoutrements. How do you guys communicate when a song's just not like you just aren't digging it, you know?
I probably while working on it, we're all pretty vocal when something isn't right. Like I don't know that like they all think it's weird. Like I'll write songs, but none of the parts repeat. So Paul will be like, no. Like, which part's going to be the chorus? Which one's going to be the verse? I'm like, I don't know. I didn't write it like that.
Yeah, you got to have parts that repeat. You can't just all the way through and not anything repeating that. That's not a song. You know, you need a chorus in there. You
Yeah.
got the hook. You need it.
So Dan's writing like Mahavishnu orchestra stuff, like that. Just
Yeah, I guess I'll just write a song with like 6 parts that, like, to me sound like they go together, but nothing repeats.
Right. That's great.
Yeah.
That's because
Oh.
like Slam and all of these insane bands that he likes in the background that no one knows about coming to his head at night, and these influencers are coming in.
Yeah.
He likes extremely heavy music that sometimes doesn't make sense, but it's okay. I like it too.
You like some of it. You also like some of that electronic, like, fun stuff too.
Yeah,
Oh,
I like it. Yeah, I like all kind of stuff.
don't get me started on that.
We like a little bit of everything for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's this one Sia song that I've been playing lately for Stace, and I told her it puts me in touch with my inner 12-year-old girl. Like I'm ready to like have a sleepover and do your braids, like when that song's on. It's just pure pop,
It's
I'll
really,
paint. We'll paint our nails and make some popcorn. I'm ready.
it's
like,
really tough for me because I tend to gravitate to like your stuff and like the heavier stuff.
heavy stuff. Yeah.
And sometimes he'll be trying to play me an album. And he did this with a group called Matter Mortem. And I was like, oh, this is horrible. This is too slow. I can't deal with this. By the end of it, it was one of my favorite albums of last year. It was,
Well, you have to explain a little more. So the reason why this happens is because we have 2 podcasts, right? So every other week we switch. So we'll do the Decay show, which is all like death metal and black metal and extreme. Everything's extreme, right? And then so we listen to that all week and get that show done. And then the Monday of the next week, now we're back to, regular rock and roll stuff. So it might just be singer-songwriter stuff, or it might be it's a lot more docile. And
I
sometimes
can't make this.
she has trouble making this downshift, She still wants deicide, so
Deicide, yeah.
Yeah.
I that's like what I first started listening to.
Oh yeah. That's a good starting point, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to check out that other show of yours.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely.
We've had some crazy stuff go up on there.
Oh yeah.
We've made a lot of foreign friends on that show. There's so much of it in Europe.
Yeah,
that's tricky. Yeah, a lot of times when we do the Decay show, it's a lot of like Finnish names and
Polish
Swedish names, Polish names, and I know we're saying them wrong, but I don't know how to find out how to say them right. So we just kind of take a shot at it. So
yeah, I'm sure they'll correct you if you butcher it bad enough.
some people get really pissed, but I mean, it is what it is.
All right, so pulling it back to you guys, we tend to get derailed. I had some track specific questions.
Yeah.
I think Swimming with the Fishes could be the national anthem for toxic relationships. I love that you pull 0 punches. I like fuck your feelings, fuck your life. So is this about an actual plotted murder? And I don't pass judgment because there was a particular person I had a body dumping place picked out for. It wasn't him.
Kinda. Yeah. It was definitely written in hate for somebody, definitely.
Nice.
That's not a secret, I don't think, at this point. Like, it's definitely like a personal, like, it's really angry towards another person, I wouldn't say hate. I just would think that it's very angry track towards, yes, a person that you previously once thought had your back and stuff,
Right. It comes through, definitely. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, do you have the lyrics in front of you? Is that
I don't have all the lyrics in front of me. I was just jotting down some notes.
right?
I totally felt that from this jerk. I had it all picked out. I knew what I was going to do. I was going to leave my phone at home. I had the whole murder plan.
I think we'll edit that out too,
no, I can't.
actually.
But I didn't actually do it. Just saying.
Well, I can see that. Yeah.
Heavy editing on this interview.
Reading on this paper.
So what kind of made you choose for the title that kind of mob slang, Swimming with the Fishes, for the title?
Oh, I'm Italian. I don't know. It kind of came to mind naturally. I was sleeping, like after I wrote the song, I was like, that's kind of appropriate for the title. It was kind of like a bury it all situation, like a bury it in the harbor.
Yeah.
Bury that trauma in the harbor, bury that person figuratively in your mind in the harbor, and move on with your life, type of deal.
Little cement shoes action.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
And lastly for that, those kind of chaotic, slightly off-tuned guitar, was that down-tuned or was that some kind of pedal effect? I couldn't quite figure out how that was achieved.
Huh. I don't know, because it's all
No,
the
no, it's
standard
all
tuning.
standard. Yeah, all standard tuning. We don't tune down at all. We did try it. Right, I don't remember when, but we did. I think it was right before we recorded. We tried it. It didn't feel the same. Definitely.
did try it. Yep.
Yeah, no, it usually doesn't. It's harder that way because then if you got to play, then you got to redo everything. It's tough.
So once we're done swimming with the fishes, we get a headstone with your name on it. Okay.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. So it seems like it's a story about like betrayal and loss and getting past the pain. Is that what the title's about? Like kind of just moving on past the pain that you've had to deal with?
Yeah, I mean, like basically, I mean, I've had to deal with death and loss at kind of rather young age, so like that's kind of what it was about. I was romantically involved with someone for like 5 years who passed away, and so a lot of those songs are very like related to grief and a little bit anger and sadness towards that too, as well as kind of like in relation to what everyone feels these days if they get hurt. Like I kind of want to make my music relatable. That's what I think it is too. Like with a situation, everyone can listen to it and be like, oh, I relate to that in my own way. Pawn losing so and so, A, B, C, or D,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a lot of what that was. The headstone with your name on it. It's kind of like a pun, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Too.
Very Old West style. I like it.
Yeah. Burying that part of you that was once really hurt, stuff like that too. There's multiple reasons and multiple, meanings to it all. I think.
I got the title for My Reflection Looks Different. I can follow that one. But what the hell did you get headroom signal hijack? I was like, it sounds like tech jargon, but it's kind of like about a manipulative person. Where did that title come from?
Oh, yeah. The counterfeit song. Yeah, you're calling somebody a counterfeit bill and to put a Halloween mask back on, because basically that title is so it was like, I think in the 80s where this news station got hijacked by somebody in a mask, and it was all trippy and topsy-turvy, and there was weird audio, and he was talking about strange political things, and it was called the Max Head, right, Paul?
The Max Headroom signal incident. It's pretty funny if you check it out. It's pretty great. It's pretty great. Yeah.
It was just a kind of a creepy hacker guy who got.
It's creepy. It's weird. It's very weird. I still don't think they've ever caught who did it.
Oh my gosh.
They never caught who did it. It was in the 80s, and it was like something you'd see nowadays, except it was in the 80s, and it was very, first of its kind thing where someone got a hold of a news station and they could never find who did it. And these days you'd be.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. Yeah.
I just kind of funny.
If you look it up, it's definitely worth looking up. It's pretty great. Max Headroom, he gets spanked in the video. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Their ass, and he kind of rambles with this trippy background, and it's like a really strange thing. And you'll see what I'm talking about once you view that.
That show 0 Day, that was on a much bigger scale. That was with De Niro, that was on recently, where all of a sudden the same message comes up on everybody's phone, and then the power goes out, but it causes like all this. That kind of reminds me on a smaller scale of that.
Correct.
I'll have to check that out. I haven't seen that.
That's a vibe there. That's that vibe. where it was kind of just like all of a sudden, you know, you're getting this strange message on your television. I think that's kind of relates to the lyrics there, that just it's talking about fake people in the lyrics. So
I like it.
How about Letter to the Boy Who Cried Wolf? That's very specific. It's that's got to be about someone real. I mean,
And
mm,
if so, did they figure out?
yeah. Do you think they know that this song is about you? You know,
Don't you? Don't you?
don't
You're
you?
so
Don't
vain.
you? You're so vain. Yeah.
this one, yeah, that one, they're all about like, I kind of take my hurt and I project it onto not really specific person, but these songs are all kind of projections of my hurt. And
There's
it's
some specific people in there too. Come on.
there are,
Yeah.
but I think I could talk about it on here. Like I said,
No,
about dumping a body in the.
Don't get super specific.
I wish I had the lyrics in front of me. I should have thought of that prior. And so I could like specifically talk. I could pull it up right now on my Google. That would be good.
Sure. Go ahead.
Yeah, that would be nice if you don't mind, just for a sec.
So it's not about Russian fairy tales. Definitely not.
No.
Or sheep herding. Or bad sheep herding.
Let me see here.
The guy that told the boss I was stealing whiteout out of the break room closet. You know,
Yeah, like
nice job, boy who cried wolf.
along with the post-it notes.
Is that the Paul? Is this the hollow and broken one? Yeah, I think so. No, that's straight.
Yeah, all the different names still get me.
See.
Especially you had a working title for so long and then
Yeah, yeah.
changed it.
Yeah.
Them at the last minute, but yeah, I mean, these basically are a lot of the time I find that people talk about things that they don't actually understand, and it's kind of like, you know, a lot of my titles are just irony and metaphor, and I spend so much time writing that it's just like I kind of just write all the time, and I come up with different names that sometimes aren't as specific as you think. Like, you know what I mean? Like I was saying, the band title is not all we are. You know what I mean? Because yeah. But no, my it's just that I came up with that so late in the game that it's kind of like just cool names that sound really, really cool to me.
This is Vladimir. He's our Russian. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I told you that
I told you.
we would have a photo bomb sometime.
We have 3. It's always got to be one down here. Like, hey.
The cat?
So we talked about floating in the stars. I love that long, slow burn at the beginning with all that fuzzy texture and progressive tension. Was that always part of the plan, or did the intro come first or later?
Yeah, that was always how that song started. I don't know where that came from, but I think it was like
that
either
really slow intro. Yeah, it's like,
either John wrote it or I wrote it, and then again, it's like this weird puzzle piece kind of thing that we do to put the songs together.
Yeah, it really
That's my when we play live, that's always one of my favorite parts. I love that part there, and everyone's just really feeling it. You can just see the audience all really, really feeling in that part when we get to it.
That's cool.
The good beginning of the last song.
So
my favorite.
I noticed you guys didn't really have a lot of videos out, but if you could get an unlimited budget, access to the best creature effects in Hollywood, what song on the album gets the video treatment and what's the plot? I mean, you could have blood, monsters, drama, whatever you want.
Ooh.
Huh.
That's a good
Paul,
question.
blood. So that's.
Which one did you say, Joe?
I said Paul's a little scared of like gore and blood. So
Yeah, I don't like gore.
I think
go ahead.
I'd say Floating in the Stars would probably be the one to get a video. And like, I mean, I don't know. I think Paul would agree, but I think something simple where it's just like a room with a shitload of lights. Nothing too crazy, you know?
A little green
Take it
screen
easy
in
on the gore
action,
for me.
put you out in the middle of the universe.
Put some robots in there, maybe.
There you go.
Robots are cool.
I would do like a live VFW / elk situation where the room is packed and people are like killing each other, like pig piling.
Yeah,
Or
that'd be fun.
yeah, you know,
But
I get a lot
unlimited
of
budget. I mean,
I know,
That's
right?
tough. That's a tough question. I mean, you could film that for nothing. The VFW halls.
That's
Hmm.
you know.
Can
Us
we
in
get
the-
Tom Brady in the video?
Absolutely.
Yeah, Tom Brady singing along.
Ugh. I'm just kidding.
Maybe when what's his name? He's got a much better sense of humor. Peyton Manning. He's
Yeah.
funnier.
Oh yeah, Peyton. He could bring Eli along as well. They're funny, the two of them. They're pretty good.
You can tell they're just naturally funny too. Some of those commercials that Tom Brady does, I'm like, oh my God. He's so
Yeah, he's like awkward and yeah, he's a robot. I don't want that kind of robot.
Yeah. Well, Jill's the big Patriots fan, right, Jill?
I'm so submerged in it. I'm good.
You know what I always thought was really funny is when he lost the Super Bowl to Manning twice. And every time they interviewed Eli, he was like, I just put the ball up there. You know, it had to be driving Brady and Belichick crazy.
Oh yeah,
They had
definitely.
like
Definitely.
all the
I-
plans and the backup plans and done all the study. And Eli's just like, I don't really know how I did it. You know, that had to drive them nuts, you know?
Yeah, I wore a Giants t-shirt the day after the first time. And my God, it wasn't a good idea. It definitely threatened a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Did he ruin the perfect season? Was that Eli? Or am I
Yep.
thinking of another one? That was the perfect
No.
season?
It was the perfect season. The second time, I
Yeah.
believe, was the perfect season, right? Yeah.
And they had Mercury Morris from the Miami Dolphins on like every week going, they're never going to beat our record. They're never going to do it. And they did it.
That was a dynasty that lasted a lifetime. I mean,
Yeah.
like
Uh,
King Tut, like only lived to be how old? I mean, this Patriots thing was like way long.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Growing up in Rhode Island, man, that was like a daily part of life, having to deal with the Patriots fans.
Yeah.
Too.
All right, so this is a question you might each have a different answer for. If you could bring back one dead musician to life for a Glorious Wounds collaboration, who is getting the resurrection?
Oh.
Jeez.
Oh, geez, Dan said.
Mm.
No, that's crazy. That's a crazy question.
That's a crazy one. Holy moly. That's a good question. Huh.
Well, they don't have to be dead either. I mean, you know,
Yeah.
you could
We can say alive or dead.
live with it.
Or
Well,
half
that
dead.
changes the whole thing.
I'm not answering yet. They are first.
All right, Dan, you got to go first because I'm still thinking.
who would collab with us? Alive or dead?
I'm gonna throw up. I'm just kidding.
Hmm.
I thought the minute we started the call, so
Yeah,
Adam.
yeah, I'm not really sure. It's
How about I would like to see John and Dimebag Darrell rip out some sweet solos together. That's where I think I would go.
John.
Yeah, I mean Dimebag playing a second guitarist on our album,
John would probably say like Eddie Van Halen.
or
John-
Igwig.
probably we
That's a good
can't.
choice.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm gonna go with Dimebag. Or for me, man, I would love to play with the bassist from what's his name, Tony Bono from Into Another. Man, he was my favorite bassist. And he passed away. He could come and just take my place. I'll watch you guys. The dude
He
is
could be
so
his roadie.
phenomenal. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
be the merch guy again. Go back.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So we play a game on the show. Normally, if it's one person, they get 5 random questions. But since there's 3 of you,
3 of you.
so I want each of you to pick 2 numbers
Between 1 and
between
100.
1 and 100.
11 and 42.
Start with you. Number 11. Who would you dress up as at a comic book convention?
David Bowie
Oh, nice.
from Labyrinth, the Goblin King.
Mm,
That's what I would do. Yeah,
You have no power over me.
yeah.
I would juggle crystal balls all night.
How is it that Bowie got away with wearing Nazi uniform? And people said,
Oh.
well, it's art because it's Bowie.
Oh, I never even put that
Oh,
together.
yeah. Yeah, look it up. Yeah.
It's hard to look past the bulge, you know. That's what.
Well, he
that's what
made
it is.
it's like, well, when Bowie wears the swastika, it's sexy. You know, it's like people are so weird, you know, like whatever, you know.
I mean, Bowie did a lot of questionable things, and everyone's fine with it.
Everybody's fine with it. Yeah.
Everyone.
And I had after he died, I had the audacity to suggest that not every album was fantastic, and I got crucified. I was like, I don't really like Diamond Dogs. People were like, how dare you? I was like, come on. I even had Tin Machine records. I mean, give me a break, you know? Doesn't mean they're omnipotent because they died. I mean, come on.
Yeah, no, I got you. I hear you for sure.
Mhm.
42. Are you typically overdressed or underdressed?
Oh, I'm always underdressed. I hate dressing up. Tucking in is the stupidest thing ever. Who's gonna ever tuck in? You're never gonna ever see me with a shirt tucked in.
Oh, you tuck it in, Paul. That's for sure.
only when I'm Bowie. Yeah.
Paul's a casual Friday kind of guy going nuts with the khakis. Ooh.
All right,
Yeah.
how about Dan? 2 numbers.
45 and 6.
All right, we'll start with 45. What other career paths did you consider?
I was almost a cop.
He was in a
Really?
summer.
You were almost a cop? I
Yeah.
can't see that.
Yeah. I was on the waiting list for like 3 towns in Connecticut. And they were like, all right, we'll call you back like within like a year or 2. But I was like, I can't wait. I kind of need a job.
Yeah, you're just you have to call.
Registration, please.
Yeah. Well, I applied for like nice towns, so I was like hoping to just be like busting up like high school drinking parties.
Oh my god.
Mhm.
Well,
I dated a cop once. We'll probably have to edit this out there maybe. But he used to like text me, did I want to see a picture of a dead body? And I'm like, gee, what kind of mood am I in today?
Well, that's like I'll be like swiping on like Instagram, and like occasionally you'll just like randomly see somebody get like creamed by a car, and you're like, well, I didn't think I'd see a dead body before 8 in the morning today.
I can't deal with that shit at all.
The
Oh,
miracle of
that wrecks
social
me out, man.
media. Yeah.
It's
Awful.
like,
so can I just rewind for 2 seconds about another question that happened?
Yeah.
Underdressing thing. You look at my thing, I'm like head to toe with a sweatshirt and sweatpants, wicked baggy shit. Like I have my like hoodie, like South Park Kenny, because I don't want people to see anything except what I have to offer as far as music. Like I'm not saying that. Like I don't care if I was half naked or not. It's just like the point of the matter to me is that the focus is not fashion or outfits or anything of that matter, whether it's underdressed, overdressed, etc. It's just kind of like a focus upon what's being brought on the stage. But like as far as my regular life, thank you. I do dress up and I do, I like to have dress up and stuff, but on stage I'm like a complete bum slash don't look at me type of deal.
My favorite was you came out with the whole headgear that time.
Oh yeah, the thing. I did.
That totally took me by surprise. I loved it.
It was the balaclava and the hoodie, and I was all
I don't know what it was great. Yeah.
on my identity whatsoever, like for a while, for a second. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I don't know. To me, it always seems like, front women, you can go one way or the other. You can say, hey, the sexuality is not part of this, or hey, the sexuality is the
Sure.
show. And we've seen both, like Castle Rat, man. She wears this chainmail bikini. I have no idea how the hell she does that. It's crazy.
How about the new Lady Gaga?
Oh yeah.
Good Lord.
So I don't
I
know.
haven't
It's
seen
like
that.
She
personal.
has a new album, and the first song is the video for the new song is. There's two versions of it. There's the costume version, and then there's the one that's even scarier, where everybody is in casual clothes doing the same moves. It's a
Well, that's
mind
kind
fuck.
of an
It
interesting
really
thing.
is.
Is the same video just dressed different?
One was a rehearsal.
Yeah, but
Huh.
it's
Yeah.
spot on. Everybody moves exactly the right way.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Huh.
Yeah. Anyway,
Good idea.
All right. Well, back to Dan. We still have one more question for him. What would we find in the back of your clothes closet?
I don't know. I guess probably,
He won't tell you what it is.
I don't know. You'd probably find dust bunnies. There's
Oh yeah, baloney.
All right, Jen, pick two numbers.
Let me just say that now with the mustache, I'm seeing the cop now. I'm seeing it. With the
Oh
mustache.
yeah.
Yeah. Now that you've said that, I'm almost picturing that movie Super Troopers or something. Like I could see it. Like
Yeah. Well, I'm kind of going for like a DeBarge, Miami Vice kind of deal with the mullet.
Village People, whatever. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, good thing they asked them that question, not me. Like,
All right, Jill. Two numbers.
Kino, 6977.
Okay.
69.
Everyone
What
picks
are your,
69,
we
right?
always have this question. What are
Yeah,
your
obviously.
feelings on taxidermy?
I don't collect them or do that like some people like enjoy it. I don't really have an opinion upon it, although the only thing I've ever considered doing it in real life is my cat, who's 14 right now. She's in such good shape and condition, and believe it or not, she's diabetic, and like I believe the insulin preserves her, and like she is like does not look 14 years old whatsoever.
Wow. Yeah.
And she was given to me by someone very special. I've taken good care of her. Such a good bond with her that I've considered doing it to her, but we'll see when the time comes. How much,
Right. Yep.
how much is it?
I know
Right, how
somebody
much is it?
Yeah,
that
really.
would do a great job.
Because I straight up would do it for TT, which is my tortoiseshell. She's a gorgeous tortoiseshell cat. Like she is beyond gorgeous. She should be in a museum.
Okay.
Yeah, we had one. She passed at 14, but we still have her sister.
Oh, so you like torties as well?
Yeah. Her sister, they all came. Her sister's all black. I had a cat come into my house and deposit 7 kittens and then leave, So
Yeah.
we kept 2.
Oh,
Yeah, the black one's 15 now. All right, 77. Are you good at sewing?
actually, yeah, kinda. I sewed myself a battle jacket, is what they call it.
Oh, cool. Cool.
2015, I have a battle jacket. So I have Cannibal Corpse, Jungle Rot, Marilyn Manson. I have Slayer. Did I say that? Cannibal Holocaust. I have. I mean, not Cannibal Holocaust. What's that band called? Fuck. Whatever.
Toxic Holocaust.
Sorry. Thank you. Toxic Holocaust. I think
Yeah.
Cannibal Holocaust is that crazy movie, but yeah, Toxic Holocaust, a couple other thrash bands, Behemoth Patches. I have a whole metal battle jacket that I did, and then I kind of lost my knack for it, but I did that a lot like 10 years ago, sewing.
Did you have the big patch? Like, who's the big patch on the back? Like the biggest one?
That's Behemoth.
Behemoth. Okay. Yeah.
The
I saw something on Instagram where somebody had one on their cat, and I was like, really? Metal cat? All right.
I never had the battle jacket because I put all of my bands on my body. Like that's Thin Lizzy. There's Voivod,
Oh, cool.
Sam Hain, Slayer, Merciful Fate. Like I wanted it to be a permanent part of my body.
I'm with you. I never had the battle jacket, but I got some band tat. Yeah.
I have glorious wounds, you could say. Yeah.
Oh, let's see it. Let's see it.
No, he's saying his tattoos
I
are
know,
Yeah, or the
I
glorious
got it.
wounds. So there's Motorhead. Yeah, CISO. Yeah.
Nice.
Sure.
I wish Dan a very happy future in law enforcement. I just want to say that.
Oh no, that's not happening. I've already got a job.
I can't see it happen. I mean, I'm glad you didn't go that route. Not that I have anything against it, but I just couldn't see it.
This is the Snaggletooth Rock and Roll Podcast.